Welcome to The Screen Queen, the show where I'll be talking about your favorite show or your favorite movie. You'll just have to find out what you're about to know. This is your Screen Queen, your host, Samantha Parrish. Hello there! Before you listen to the episode, and I pass this episode off to the past Sammy, I need to address something that happened in this episode. I made an error with the title of the movie, that it's Evil Dead Rise, not Evil Dead Rises. I do not know what happened during the recording process that my brain just completely messed up that word, and by the time I figured it out, I tried to fix the episode to just say Rise, but unfortunately the way I talked too fast, it just did not happen, and I'm gonna let the episode ride out the way it is, but I just felt like it'd be really important just to let everyone know that what the title is, and I made a mistake, and I appreciate those out there that are forgiving for tiny little mistakes, and I hope this won't happen again. So with that said, I'm going to pass this episode off to the past Sammy and get you to the episode. Thank you so much for understanding. Hello there and welcome back to the show. This is your second episode of Trailer Time, and I guess we're going with a horror movie theme because we're talking about Evil Dead Rises. So I have to admit, I'm not the biggest fan of the Evil Dead movies, but I've always been fascinated by its history. This was a film series that started from scraps, crumbs, money that Sam Raimi, his brother, and Bruce Campbell invested into the movie, and this exceeded their expectations as well as audiences' expectations and spawned 2 sequels, a reboot, a TV show, and then there was this talk about a sequel to the reboot, and I followed it for years, and I was even curious myself, like, well, I've seen the remake, it was very accomplishing, scared the shit out of me, and the series with their plot lines have never failed. Think of any horror movie that you've ever seen, you're gonna find some movie that's like, that wasn't so good. Evil Dead? No, that's not the case. Everyone has always been genuinely satisfied with the plot line. And I've read some of the plot lines I've had over the years for the sequel to the reboot, that they were going to put Ash in there with the new protagonist Mia and have them go fight the Deadites together. And it's like, okay, well that sounds like if you put Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sigourney Weaver together and want to go see them fight the Predator and Alien together, sweet, cool, awesome. But unfortunately, that got scrapped. And over time, it just faded into obscurity, and no one really kept up with it. And out of my curiosity, I looked it up a couple of months ago to see if they were going to be putting more thought back into that sequel again. And to my surprise, it's like that saying, ask and you shall receive. And I did see the title, Evil Dead Rises. But to my surprise, I was kind of shocked to see that the director did not return. Fede Alvarez, who was the director of the reboot for Evil Dead, he was like the guy that people were going to love or hate, and they loved him for what he did for the Evil Dead movies, but he did not sign on to be the director. Now they have a new guy named Lee Cronin at the helm to continue the story of people that unfortunately have a little encounter with the Deadites because they can't leave that damn book alone. Ugh. Well, now that Evil Dead Rises is here, it has taken the internet by storm. And I don't think it really occurred to me now that this is a sequel that people have been waiting 10 years for. 10 years. That's kind of heavy when you think about it. Especially for a series that I'm not entirely invested in, but I also wonder for the fans, like, are you guys going to get what you want? And from what people have been seeing, I think people are getting exactly what they want with this series. The Evil Dead series has always known how to make you uncomfortable. It puts you in a tight little area with no chance of escape, that you feel what the characters are going through as if you're right there with them. And that's really what horror is supposed to do, is go to that sensory level to make you feel there is no hope. Now, for those out there that have not seen the trailer, or if you're like me and you're kind of you like this thing called sleep and you don't really like to go and watch the horror movie trailers, I will go ahead and give you the synopsis so you don't have to watch that for yourself, and you can save yourself the sleep at night. You are so welcome. So Evil Dead Rises does not follow the original remake. It's going to be following new people. So we have two estranged sisters that are trying to fix their relationship, but unfortunately, they're going to have a tough time getting to have their relationship fixed, and they got another problem coming up. One of the sisters is possessed by the Deadites, and now becomes a race against time and a horrendous experience of this girl trying to protect her nieces and nephew from the woman that has been a part of her life for a majority of her time, knowing that the person she loves is now the enemy. She has to save her, but she also has to save herself and the kids. So you kind of automatically know that this woman is going through shoots and hoops to figure out how is she going to save her sister. Now, when I saw that trailer, that thing shocked me to my core. I forgot about what this thing called breathing was. I felt like I was stuck right where I was sitting. And the way that I remembered the Evil Dead series was like sprinkled into this movie. So even though it is a fresh new twist off of the fresh new twist that we got back in 2013, it still had that atmospheric presence. I do like the fact that it does have I don't want to say it's a cliche, but it's a parallel to the first movie, with it being about family. Having the brother and the sister trying to kind of fix the relationship, but due to some shit in the past, it just didn't happen. And then the Deadites made their family reunion a lot harder than it was. And now we have Evil Dead Rises, where it has more of an emotional weight to it, because it's two women that haven't really seen each other for a long time and know, well, shit, maybe we should fix our relationship, and now it really does become a test on their relationship. I respect the hell out of horror movies that will use that plot tactic of growing your characters to move past something together in the worst absolute way possible, but you get to learn more about them. What do they do in these times? How do you learn about why their relationship fell apart? But also, how do they work together? That's something I really love when they bring the family element into horror movies, is not making them just kind of be family and that's all you know. You know why they're family. You know their problems. You get more of a drama portion to that family tactic in horror movies. But there's also something, too, that I hadn't thought about until just now. We don't get that many scary moms in horror movies, because you are following a woman in the film that's possessed, but she's also a mother. I mean, look, if you see the cover photo, it's a woman holding on to her kids with a sinister smile. So it's someone that it's like they're about to have a major change in their family dynamic. Usually moms in horror movies are a few things. They're either the villain of the story, they're dead, or they're in the background and don't really get as much time to serve their role beyond being a mom in the story. There have been some possessed mothers in a wide range of horror movies like The Conjuring, but the difference is that The Conjuring's based off of a true story, and this is trying to take the idea of a mom being possessed and making it the most terrifying thing you hope never happens. Again, that's an element that's not really played too much in horror movies, by seeing someone that we see as nurturing and caring, and now they are the enemy. It's like what the director of It's Alive said when it came to making It's Alive. He said, the thing you love is now the enemy. And that is a tactic that I respect the hell out of. It's the one thing that I've always admired about the Evil Dead series, is it's taking the one thing you wouldn't think would be the enemy, and that all of a sudden becomes your threat factor for the duration of the film. I myself, I'm not going to go see Evil Dead Rises in theaters. Your girl does not do good with those movies. I like to watch them in the comfort of my own home, where I can have access to a lamp and a pause button. But I do have to say, I am immensely impressed with how they did that, and it makes me feel really good knowing that the fans are getting exactly what they want. That title definitely does uphold, and Evil Dead is actually Rising. And that is all I have for my thoughts about The Evil Dead Rises. This was quite a thing to see. I'm not gonna lie. I still have some problems going to sleep at night. That trailer definitely did a number on me. There are some times at night that I'll be sitting and that smile comes to mind, and I'll be sitting there like, I took a vote. 1 out of 1 agrees that I should definitely not move. I am totally okay with that. That bitch is in my brain. I'm gonna be okay. I'll just be right here for the rest of my life. It's okay. It's all good. But that's what horror movies is supposed to do too, and it'll be interesting to see what the outcome is going to be when Evil Dead Rises comes out on its due date that I don't remember, but I'll put it in the description box. Thank you so much for listening. If you would like to catch up with me and talk about Evil Dead Rises, you can message me at my Instagram at the Queen of the Screen, or if you'd like to see what I talk about with movies and behind the scenes stuff, feel free to follow me on my TikTok at the Mystical Space Switch. Okay, thank you so much for listening to Trailer Time, and now your feature presentation of Beverly Hills Cop is coming right up. You all take care now, stay amazing, and make sure you keep those lights on just in case you need them. You never know. Alrighty, everyone, take care. This is your host, signing off. Bye-bye!